Hello and welcome to the Crone Zone. I'm Lynn and I'm recording this in the afternoon, a December afternoon, and I have to have all the lights on because it's already growing so dark. And that's because we're on the descent to the solstice. And the solstice, of course, is the shortest day of the year. And the actual moment of solstice is when the sun crosses the celestial equator. Um, and that will occur on the 21st December at 10:27 p.m. After that, the sun will stand still. So there will be no increase in light for 3 days. For 3 days, the sun is stationed. This is why it's called solstice. It stays absolutely still at its post for 3 days. That is the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And then, quite magically and symbolically, on the 25th, we get that little increment of extra light and the return of the light. That is the point at which the light is beginning again. And that, of course, for many people, is Christmas Day. So, very interesting bit of information, that I think. But I wanted to talk today not only about the solstice itself, which I think is a very important, spiritually important point of the year, because I believe it's a point at which there is an inpouring of spirit to us here in the world. It's a portal, in my opinion, for that. So a very profound time. But I wanted to talk to you today about the descent to the solstice because I've become increasingly aware, as I've got older actually, that the solstice isn't about one day, one point in time. The solstice is about the whole period of descent. And for me, this starts, or it's certainly this year, it began with the autumn held on quite late this year. And it began mid November, I would say. I noticed that the birds had stopped singing. And there was a kind of hush, a kind of stillness, almost beyond the range of human ears to hear the hush, but it was there. And that was accompanied with quite a profound, deep sense of peace. And then when the trees, as they have now, they finally shed, so the leaves are all off, and as the sap sinks, there is this sense of the descent. And for me, this is Persephone going into the underworld. This is Orpheus in the underworld. This is going into the dark womb, if you like, going on an inner journey. You know, in the ancient times, there were those spiral drawings. We see them at places like Newgrange and other very, very ancient monuments that predate the pyramids. And for me, they represent the spiraling down, 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 down of the light to the dark point, and then the turning and the spiraling back up and back up and back up to summer solstice, the longest day of the year. So at this time, when everything is sinking away, this point of descent, there can certainly for me be feelings of increased tiredness, of need to sleep more, a sense of depletion, and a waiting for a spiritual renewal. And I think this sense of exhaustion, this sense of the light getting less and less and energy becoming lower. It's brilliantly captured in a poem by John Donne called A Nocturne on St. Lucy's Day. St. Lucy's Day is actually the solstice day. So I just read you a few lines from that because I think he just nails it like nothing else could. So he says, "'Tis the year's midnight, and it is the day's, Lucy's, who scarce 7 hours herself unmasks. The sun is spent, and now his flasks send forth light squibs, no constant rays. The world's whole sap is sunk." And so I think this invites us sometimes to an inward journey, to a spiritual journey, if you like, that we take while we're waiting for the renewal of the light, which will come on the 25th with the return of the sun. And in the meantime, I think that there are, or can be, certainly for me, there can be things to explore in our own personal shadow, in the nighttime realms of ourself, if you like. And there happens to be a range of cards that reflect the sun going down, and they are these. So the sun goes down with Temperance. That's the sunset in the tarot deck. And the sun stays down through the Devil energy, through the Tower, and of course through the beautiful star energy, because we can't see the stars in the daylight, and through the moon. And so it's those cards that I will be meditating on and contemplating in this period. And maybe you will too, I don't know, but there's a possibility there if you wanted to. So those are the nighttime cards of the tarot, and certainly where my journey will be taking me. So I began the Crone Zone Tarot, the lessons for how to learn tarot, on the spring equinox, the vernal equinox. That seemed to me an ideal time to begin, and so I did. And now we're not quite on the solstice, we've a way to go, but we're headed to that. And it seems appropriate to me for this year to leave the course where it is. We've covered all of the basics. 9 months, 36 or 37 videos later, all you need to know about your introduction to tarot is there. So I will be leaving posts now and exploring my own inner contemplations in this upcoming period. And then I will begin posting again in the new year. So I hope that in this time of great trauma and disturbance in our world as ever, that your own period leading up to the solstice is one of peace. That if there are dark days there for you, you remember that the light is coming and that there is hope in there. And I look forward to enjoying your company, hopefully again in the new year. So I just say, I hope you have a blessed and peaceful time and festivities. Thank you very much for being with me over the course of these lessons. And I will say bye-bye for now.